So, hi, Chuck. How are you?
I'm wonderful. I've had a great day today.
Excellent. That's great. Well, I'm so happy to have you here in the high end client program. I'm just excited about everything that you've been able to do so far. So, why don't you tell us just for a minute, like the 10,000-foot overview of your business?
Basically, I got into real estate because I had retired and my honeydew list was getting too big and my wife was still teaching school. So I got into real estate. I just love it. Um, Real estate is with me until I decide not to do anything anymore. And then we'll
Okay.
start in the ground. Okay.
Okay.
But
I love real estate too. I totally get it. That's
it's
wonderful.
not a job to me. I've been coaching and mentoring for well over 20 years in other professions. And when I sold my business and retired for the second time, I just realized that real estate was where it was at. And I was making some good investments at the time. And I said, I might as well become a realtor. And then I became a broker. And at one time, I had about 500 agents under me, but that was too much babysitting for me. So I decided to get out of that. And the company I'm with, and I've been with them now going on 6 years, convinced me to be their state broker. And I have 10 different offices, managers managing them. So I manage the managers and let the managers manage the agents. You convinced me last week to give up my 70-hour work week. And I am 74 years young, believe it or not, and be 75 next month.
Congratulations.
I have the body of a 40-year-old. So, and the mindset,
And the
all
mind
in the
of a
mindset.
16-year-old, right?
No, it's worse than that.
Oh,
So
keeps
it's just
keeps you keeps you
a
young.
nice roller coaster. Yes, it is. It's been
Yeah.
very good.
Well, so one of the things that you've pointed out just in your own experiences already by example is that the business world is really changing. I mean, we talk about this a lot when we're talking to people in the group. One of the main reasons that people come in is that things like the largest hotel company in the world right now is Airbnb, and they don't own any properties. And the largest car company in the world right now is Uber, and they don't own any vehicles. So business itself, the way we conduct business, the way that business is really changing a lot. And you're an example of that because you've reinvented yourself a bunch of times. So what I'd like to know is, what have you tried that didn't work?
Well, the biggest thing is that I'm becoming very computer savvy with the multimedia, and I know that we need to make that change. My
Yeah.
meeting tomorrow with my entire staff to let them realize that I'm not going to be working a 70-hour week anymore, but mostly um, showing them how in real estate how much it has changed, uh,
Hmm.
both from the internet standpoint. I've been doing internet sales for about 14 years.
Hmm.
Started with it when it just got started. So I truly understand the patience it takes to work with a person that's using the computer in lieu of just making a phone call. But
Hmm.
your goal, obviously, is to get them on the phone.
Hmm.
And once I get them on the phone, they're mine. That's
I love
never
your
been,
mind. I
never
really
been.
love, I love and respect your mindset. I think it's just brilliant. I talk to people about that positioning all the time. I think that's so wonderful that you understand that you're like at the top of your game and that's how you portray yourself, because of course that's why they want to, do business with you. And so you talked a lot about, internet marketing and what you've done that has worked. What have you tried that hasn't worked? What are some of the other things that you did, or is everything you've done
Well,
worked?
first of all, using the mail is like snail mail. That just takes way too long,
Mm-hmm.
and it's not cost effective.
Mm-hmm.
Door hangers, not cost effective. Um, Other than that, because I was Mike Ferry trained many years ago,
Mm-hmm.
um, I know how to prospect. So what I'm doing, I went with you and your organization like a refresher course to
Mm-hmm.
reiterate into me what it's going to take to get back out there. I'm at a stage of my life, I enjoy my vacations, and I took on the state broker with the condition with the corporate office that I'm allowed to still take my vacations, which one of them is coming up in August, and I'll be gone for about a month.
Good.
But I just wanted to see everything that was out there that is new. That's not reinventing the wheel, but honing in on what my capabilities are and putting that to work. And it all started with the bio in LinkedIn.
Your LinkedIn profile, right? Right.
I mean, I literally have about 1,000 viewers, and I was getting no business out of it at all.
Mm-hmm.
And 2 days ago, I revamped it, put my bio in, and as you know, in under 30 minutes, I get a message on my computer that someone was interested in multiple duplex, triplex, and fourplexes, of which I sent him 29 of them to look over in less than 15 minutes, because you have to work fast when you're working on the computer.
Yep.
And now we're looking at, we've downscaled that to about 10.
Mm-hmm.
Each one is in that $300,000 range. So I'm sitting very handsomely with it. And I did express to him that I wanted to be his realtor for life.
I'm sure he'd be lucky to have you. So this is a client that really you got inside of the first 30 minutes after having updated your LinkedIn profile following the things that you learned in the program, right?
I actually think it was under 30 minutes, because I didn't realize I had a message on my computer until I went back in on, and there it was, and I was just shocked, just totally.
Yeah. And now, how long have you been on LinkedIn?
About 3 years.
And so that's the first time somebody had reached out to you on LinkedIn based on your profile.
Social base. I was using it more as a social base rather than a business.
Yeah.
Now I look at it totally.
Yeah, well, a $3 million client will do that to you, huh? Well, I think a lot of people, when they, are considering LinkedIn, are thinking it's just for a resume, just for getting a job, just because it's like a flag, like, hey, I'm in business, and that's it. And of course, there's very few people. I think our estimates are like 2 to 3% of people are out there doing what you're doing and using it as a tool, as a platform for being able to have a whole new network and a whole new thread for business. So what was that a concern for you when you signed up? Were you thinking, I don't know if I want to invest in myself in this way, or I don't know if I want to invest more money in myself at all? You're a very successful person anyway. So what was that like for you?
The biggest thing is, yes, I do not have to work. I'm very, very comfortable in life. But if I'm going to work, I want to go ahead and make the money that it's worth. And you have to invest in yourself. And you have to set the mindset that you're going to go forward with it, or you just don't get into it. It to me is not a job. My love of life is helping others become successful, but it makes me successful at the same time.
I love it. That's fantastic. Yeah.
Like I said, I really don't have to work, but it's not work to me. I'm the first one in the office. And even this afternoon on a Friday, I'll be the last one leaving.
Hopefully not with a 70-hour work week this week.
Oh, no,
so.
I've only worked about 30, 35 hours.
Oh, that's fantastic. That's great. I'm really, really glad to hear that.
But I got
good for you.
Rotary.
So we really, we want to be able to give people that value right away. We want them, we don't want them to have to, like the program's 8 weeks. We don't want people to think they have to come in, spend 8 weeks learning everything that we have to teach them, and then get value out of the program afterwards. We want them to really feel like they're getting value right away. So I take it you feel like you got value right away.
Without a doubt. And the other people on our program have reached out. I really just respect all the people because I've looked them all over, trust me. And I've gone in on their sites and looked at them.
You're
And
talking about the other people in the program, right? The other clients that are in there with you, right?
absolutely. And some of them don't apply to me because of the nature of what they do or what they're
Right.
selling.
Yeah, we have a
And
lot of different industries. Yeah.
absolutely, and which makes you very versatile. But yet the program you present is for everyone that wants to apply it.
Yeah.
Uh, my part tomorrow is about being proactive rather than reactive. You know, you set your mindset, and if you want to, wealth isn't just money. Wealth is happiness, and when you're happy in life, you really do have wealth. And that's part of my subject tomorrow. I only have 1 hour meetings. I don't believe in lengthy, and I don't believe in having weekly meetings because they're not out there selling. If I have a meeting every week, and if they don't sell, I don't eat. Looking at me, I eat very well.
But you're giving them lasered information. That's that's really
true. I do
terrific.
one-on-one coaching, and then I do group coaching.
So what made you've got a lot of experience. You've been in business a really long time. I know you were casting around for like what to do and who to work with. What made you decide to go with us with the high-end client program?
When your webinar was so well put together, so well, that it drove me to go to the next step.
That's great.
And I'm very frugal with my money. And I'm not indecisive though. I can make a decision. My wife knows I'll spend it if I have to. But the return on it, I always look at REO on everything because that's where it's at. I was successful when I had my engineering firm. I was successful when I was a Navy SEAL. And now in real estate, it has just really opened the doors to me I have so many friends, and my sphere of influence, I literally have to scrub it because it's just a little too large.
So I'm curious, where do you feel like you're going to go with this program? I mean, you're only a week in right now, not even. So where do you feel like you're going to go over the next 7 weeks of the program?
Next 7 weeks? Well, since you've been asking me for at least a week to put my goals together, I'm going back to my prospecting and how to prospect, how many calls per day. X number of calls give you X number of appointments. X number of appointments gets you the sales. Listings are gold because for every listing you get in that neighborhood, you can get another listing. They just listings take an hour. Buyers, 30 to 40 hours. So which area you think I'm going to work?
Yes, exactly.
I'm a listing guru.
So you're going to do a webinar that's basically built around doing the listings, like designed for sellers, correct?
Correct. I'm going to be doing 2 webinars. My first one is for me. In the sense that I'm going after the high end. If I'm going to work this level and this intensity, I'm not a bottom fisherman. Okay. So the work is the same, whether it's a $90,000 sale or it's a $1 million sale. But I know that if I do 10, $100,000 sales, I've got the million. Do I want to spend time on 10 or do I want to spend time on 1?
So agree with you. Yeah.
The first thing is I know how much production I can do. And I have a wonderful staff, and I've got good trainers now that I've trained, so I'm giving that part to them. But the biggest thing is to take this money, I'm just putting it into my retirement portfolio. The other one is I have an obligation to the corporation, since I'm an executive vice president with them, to build the company in the state of California.
And that's going to be your second webinar?
Absolutely. I'm going after independent offices because our platform will relieve them of their financial obligations, paperless. My training platform is wonderful.
Yeah.
I don't use a case of paper in 3 months. Once I load the initial document, I'm done.
Well, and it's interesting because although, I mean, I understand the concept of the paperless closer, and this is kind of like a metaphor that I think you'll really appreciate. The webinars themselves, they're like these paperless selling tools.
Absolutely.
And in fact, because they're so automated, they're not just paperless, they're also timeless, because you're going to record that webinar once and then it's going to play 24/7 for people. Chuck, you know that the guy that created the webinar that sold you into the program is the same guy that you're going to get to work with on your webinars, right?
Yes. And this is what you cost me to go out this week and buy. Okay. But it's one that's idiot proof. Okay. And I have a tripod for that.
Good.
And I love my blue.
Your microphone, your new microphone.
What is that?
Because you kind of went into the broadcasting business. You didn't even realize it.
Absolutely.
Well, your webinars are going to be on the same caliber as the webinar that you saw that sold you into the program. So
I'm looking forward to. I really am. You guys have such a platform. You have so much to offer if they just receive it and use it.
Yep.
That, with me, no is not in my vocabulary. And my workability, I just get it done.
Good.
My ability to get everything accomplished in a week, it was amazing this week when I pulled the hours back and where I concentrated. I still keep an open door policy. Everybody knows that.
Yeah.
But I now send them to 3 other agents who are my trainers.
So I have one more question for you.
Yes.
If somebody's thinking about coming into the program and they're skeptical, what would you tell them?
I would tell them to first look at where they're at in life and what is their objective. You know, where do they want to take themselves this year, next year, 5 years from now, 10 years from now? It doesn't matter age. I mean, look at me. I'm 74 years old and I'm sitting here being coached again. But I love it. Yeah, especially with a redhead. Yeah. my wife's going to find this out. I mean, I have to say it. Yeah. We'll find it out soon enough. But it's nice to be humble, respectful. I think the most important thing that someone coming into this program is to keep an open mind and being subjective. Being open to what is out there, knowing that they don't know everything. Don't be a know-it-all. And don't be afraid to ask questions. I mean, I've been popping stuff right and left down there, and I hope somebody doesn't get tired of it.
No, you're great. Bring it.
I want to know. I'm not one to wait or procrastinate. And I mean, when I was a SEAL, you just don't procrastinate.
Right.
I mean, you're tenacious. You do what you have to be doing. You do what you're told. So you guys are going to be telling me what to do. I mean, I'm already on step 5, and I've watched all the other ones. I had somebody ask me if we could brainstorm 1 and 2. I said, and to myself, I said, what's there to brainstorm about it? You just got to do it.
Right.
You know?
Right.
I look forward to it because she is a realtor.
Yeah.
But when someone asks and you can offer, you should do.
So if somebody's on the fence about the program, is there any advice you'd give them about whether they should come into the program or not?
Get off the fence, get off their butt, and go to work. Train yourself, be trained. Don't be afraid to ask somebody else for help. I think that's the biggest thing. Ego. Ego's like the drunk monkey that's on your shoulder that says you can't. Okay? Part of my tomorrow is really all philosophical, and it's about PSI, positive self-image, versus the IC, which is the subconscious that says, I can't. Well, how do you know you can't until you try? So
yeah, I think for a lot of people, I think that they've been doing it that way for a long time. And I think there's an opportunity here for people to, to shift that. It's like, if you really loved the way that your business was running without this, you wouldn't care, you wouldn't need it. It's
Right.
for a lot of people, they've been doing the same thing for a long time, and what kind of results are they getting? And so I think this gives them a new opportunity, especially for a lot of people not as internet savvy as you. There's that opportunity to to learn a new way of doing things that can really, really expand your business. Would you agree with that?
I definitely agree, and you always need to be ready to change.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
You can't keep doing the same old thing, the same old way, and gain the same old results.
Exactly.
You really grow expeditiously as far as yourself and your mindset and your career and how you support your family. It's not just you, it's everyone around you. And that's why I looked at this program, and that webinar it touched me profoundly enough to go ahead and move forward.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful.
Now that I made that commitment, I'm going to wear you out.
We're going to look forward to that. Chuck, thank you so much for spending time with me this afternoon. I really appreciate it. And thank you for everything that you said and for all your insights.
Haley, it's going to be a pleasure working with you. Thank you.